Hello, welcome to Google Slides 101. Today we're going to go through how to use Google Slides. I think it is by far the most versatile tool that Google offers, and we'll go through kind of all the options in the next 45 minutes to an hour. So the goal here is to learn how to use old presentations, but also new presentations. So if you are transitioning to Google Slides, Google has made that a lot easier for PowerPoint users. Not everything converts because this is essentially just a website that you're editing, but there are some good features and transitions that they've added. And then also to discover all of the unique features of Google Slides that aren't typical in PowerPoint or your traditional slide presentations. And then also, hopefully, you can practice some. So that'll be kind of at the end, though. So why Google in general? One is that it is all cloud-based. So Slides is a little bit more difficult to manipulate on your phone, but you can. And then you also can do it on any device, anywhere. So whether you're at a hotel, at one of their computers, at a friend's house, family member's house, and your computer dies, you can just log in and have access to it. It saves automatically, essentially on the second. So you don't ever have to worry about it being corrupt or your computer not starting again. You can just always have your presentations wherever you're at, anytime, anywhere accessible. All right. And then you can also collaborate, which is nice. So students don't have to worry about getting together, passing back these huge files. They can just work on it online. All right. So Google Slides is very familiar to PowerPoint. And there are some links here, kind of some graphics on how to, and some other training videos if you want. But it is part of G Suite. So if you go to Google Drives, it is one of the ones that pops up first under new. And if you create a new Google slide, then it will pop up with a blank template, just like PowerPoint would. So you can either get to Google Slides through Google Drive, or you can do slides.new, and that'll create a new one. Or you can type in Google Slides, search for it, or use the apps. But I unfortunately took my app down, and go to the Google Slides kind of homepage, if you were for that. So it will tell you kind of all about Google Slides. Okay, so why Google Slides? Again, this is kind of going hand in hand with the Docs, but it is the most versatile tool that Google makes. So there are some images and graphics that you can put together in Docs, but this is actually easier. You don't have to worry about where the images kind of interrupt text. So this image, while it's hyperlinked, I can literally move it anywhere. I can send it in back. So you can do all sorts of order, but you don't really have to worry about some of the, I guess, guidelines that are typically in Microsoft Word or Google Docs. So it's super versatile in that. And then you can actually change the size of this paper to match anything. So whether it's a social media posting, whether it's a poster, you have the ability to change the size of this to pretty much anything you want, which is also nice. You can insert all media types, which is fantastic. So Google owns YouTube, and you can insert directly YouTube videos or anything like that, which again is not available in very many of Google products. I think Google Forms allows you to, Sites allows you to, but you can't do that in Docs. Can't do that in Sheets. There's some other things in there that are just a little bit difficult to add. But here, you can add whatever you want, essentially. And you can create engaging presentations or have students create them as well, work collaboratively. And then you can also get them in any format. So you can publish it to the web. So this view is the editor view, which, is not what you'd want to put out there to students necessarily, but you can just publish the slideshow and it's a website essentially. But then you can also download it as a PowerPoint, as a JPEG, picture, PDF, etc. So there's lots of different formats there as well that you can download it. And again, even if it's just one slide, and it's more of a graphic design, then you can create those. And this is what I like the most, is that, again, you can work in conferences over the years, and just having experiences myself where the file's corrupt or it just shuts down or the flash drive isn't working. You don't have to worry about that anymore. You can literally just log in to any computer that's available, Chromebook, whatever, and pull it up. So that's the nice part. And again, these could be huge files that we're talking about too. So be aware of that. Okay, so let's just start from PowerPoint. So let's say you have some presentations that you really like and you want to convert them to Google Slides. Kind of the best way to do that is from a new slides presentation, go to File and then Open. And then you can upload or just go directly to your drive. But I'm going to see if I can find a document here. So looking for a PowerPoint, 1 minute. So once you find a PowerPoint, which I have not yet, but I will here in 1 second. I thought I had one here ready. Sorry. So I've uploaded the PowerPoint, and again, just kind of opening from, and then what it's going to do is convert it into Google Slides document. So now some of the conversions don't always work, so be aware of that. Font sizes aren't always going to be the same either, or some colors, but this chart actually transfers over pretty nicely. So this was a PowerPoint that I uploaded into Google Slides as a PowerPoint. Now it's just Google Slides, and it even names it. The other way is to just go to Drive and New File Upload, and then upload your PowerPoints. Let me open up all of these. So this is one way in Drive that you can search by type. I'm going to go to Presentations and search, and then I'll find what it looks like and show you a PowerPoint version of this. So a PowerPoint will show up as a P, and then if I open it, it's going to open it up in a viewer just like it would with Word, but then you can open with Slides, and it will show a little kind of icon next to the name that it is actually still a PowerPoint. So you can edit it. There's the .pptx. It'll still edit it. It will still save it. But then again, when you go back to it, you'll get this view initially, and then you'll have to open it with Google. So there are two different ways essentially to open it. This will keep it in that PowerPoint format. The other one is simply just converting it to slides directly. And again, shouldn't matter, still have the sharing rights. You just kind of have to guide your students one way or the other, whoever you're working with. So that's how you bring it open. And then the themes. I don't know if you guys saw that. That'll be on this one. Here are the themes for the presentation. Now you can grab a theme from another one that you already have, but there's just not many that Google offers. So, and they're overused, to be honest with you. So some of them you're probably not going to like anyways. But then there's, just kind of this is it. So there are lots of sites out there now that have created them. One is Slides Carnival, and it's hyperlinked here. But essentially, it has hundreds of templates that you can use, including Jeopardy, for your Google Slide or really PowerPoint presentation as well. and they set up kind of a theme for you. So let's say I like this one. You can select it, and then when you get to it right here, you want to use as a Google Slides theme, and it'll open up. Now on these, you do have to, you got to click use template here. You get a preview here so you can look through all the options, but it gives you instructions. It also gives you graphics to look at. And again, you can replace most of them. But it is kind of nice to have a decent theme other than the ones they give you. So here are all of the slides. And again, they're quotes. And the ones I like, I just make copies of and use over and over again. So like this transition one, I think there's only one in here. You just have to duplicate it. And then at the very bottom of these, there's even graphics that you can, some clip art pieces that you can copy and paste into pretty much anywhere on your slide presentation. So you just right click on it, copy, and then paste it wherever you'd like, and then just delete the slides that you don't use, but they give you quite a bit to work with. So that's my favorite. Canva is another one. I'm not going to go there, but it's a free designing website. So some of those you have to pay for, but it is a nice environment that you can create some good graphics. Google Templates. There are some Google Templates for slides, much like Docs, but it's pretty limited. So you can look through the template gallery, but it's not going to be nearly as extensive as Docs. So they have a few options here if you want to get away from their just basic themes. And then there are all sorts of pre-made slide decks out there for you, like the Jeopardy one before. This is a really good blog, Control-Alt-Achieve. Has several resources on, again, just kind of fun, interactive, already created slides for the classroom. So that's a nice resource if you're looking for just, kind of a quick thing that you can use Google Slides for, or at least alternatives. Okay, so when you make Google Slides, and then again, I once said as well that you can change it to anything. I want to see if I have an open one here. Sorry. Here's one. So when you go to File, you can go to Page Setup, and this will allow you to go to a, kind of your standard presentation sizes, or look at this, you can change it to any size you want. So if you want a 10 by 10, make a 10 by 10, and it'll create a 10 by 10. And then again, you have the ability to then create this document, and essentially you can then download it once you've done that as a PowerPoint, but also as a PDF, JPEG, PNG, kind of image files there. So it is a very versatile tool with that. So let's say I'm going to change it back here, Page Setup. You want to add a new slide once you've picked your theme, and you just title it here, Sample. I'm going to get rid of some of these up here. So you can go to, you can do to Slides, a new slide, or you can drop down on this plus button, and it gives you the different types of options here. So most of the time, you're going to either add a section. Let's just add a sample here, and then this could be a slide. So, kind of very typical to PowerPoint in terms of how you're going to use that, but that's how you add a new slide with the different theme options. You can add text, obviously. There's a text box there, and then you can add different text boxes if you need to. The text, the audio, and images are all under Insert. So images is, again, kind of with Google all the way. You can search the web, you can upload, or you can link to Drive or your camera. So if I search the web again, it's going to search Google Images. Let's look up Hoosiers. So here's an image I like. You can insert it, or you can just drag it and drop it, and then you have your image there. And if you want to put a border on it, you can put a border on it, and you can change the color of that border if you want. But there's lots of different options, and again, it's nice because you can literally drag it anywhere. Let's go back to that one. So also audio. So this would be an audio clip that you'd want. So that's also kind of nice if you have some audio files that you want to enter. And then you can also insert, which again is kind of the nicest part, is the video. So you can go to your Google Drive and select like a screencast like I'm doing now, or you can search YouTube Hoosiers. And you select which one you want. Now, if you have a very specific YouTube and you're not just searching by general topic, I would almost get the link and then just type it in here, or you can do that in the URL here as well. So there's a couple ways to get that very specific one, but YouTube has so many videos that it is difficult to file through. And so then again, you can resize this video and have it here. The other thing you can do is change when you want it to start and end at. And then there's some automatic play options here. So there are some options there as well for the video. But you can also hyperlink these. So let's say I want to hyperlink this to iuhoosiers.com. And now the image is hyperlinked to something else. So you can do that with text as well, but you can do it with all these multimedia functions, which is nice. So the other things that you can add, and that was the link part there. And again, I just highlighted the image, click the link, and then you can search for URLs or put that in there. You can also link it to different slides within the show. The other insert ones, it has all of the shapes that are typical in all the other Google products. So the shapes, arrows, callouts, equations. You can insert a gridded table, which again is nice, obviously, in some cases, and then set those custom size. You can do diagrams now, which is new and is fantastic. Word art lines are the main ones there. And then again, the scribbles, kind of like if you're going to sign something. Otherwise, these are all somewhat connected. And then all the editing tools for those will show up on the top here. This is the quick insert part. So if you want to insert pieces, they're all right here for the most part. Okay. So again, those are some of the nice features. Really love that you can, create this essentially huge file already with the video links and everything else and have it tied there. If you are worried about connecting to YouTube, you can select a video file from your drive and it'll upload within the presentation. So you don't have to tie to the internet if you actually lose it for whatever reason there. Okay. So some other things is that it has grid lines and centering, which is also really handy to do. So let's say I'm going to get rid of this real quick. You do want to center it or at least get the heights matched up. All of these red grid lines help make sure that it is centered so that, again, you are making an aesthetically easy to follow graphic essentially for your class that they can follow. And you can resize it. If you have 3 items, it'll even show the spacing in between them. So again, just more things to help you create a nice, engaging visual image, graphic design, essentially, for each slide. And then you can view grid line as well. Let me see if I can So you can look at it that way, but that's not what I was talking about. Here are the guidelines that you can add in, and there's several ways to do that. And then the snap to will again kind of show you exactly where you're at. That guideline's gonna get a little annoying to me, but you have rulers as well, which you can obviously change as you go in and out. Some other things, this will be interesting, is it still has all of the nice accessibility features. So you can highlight that and then use the tools and dictionary, and it will pull it up here, and a native or inhabitant of Indiana. Nice. Students can get definitions if they need it. You can also explore. So this is giving suggestions. It's down here on the bottom right or under the tools, but it'll pull up here and you can search. Whoa, sorry. Wrong button there. You can click and search Hoosiers on the internet, and it'll pull up websites that you can enter, images, or things that are even in your drive, because apparently I have some things in my Google Docs that have Hoosiers in it. So it's a nice way to, again, kind of do research within your presentation as is. It also will keep doing and continue to do the speech to text. So you can do your speaker notes down here in speech to text. So you'd have to click the clicker down here under your speaker notes, and then again, tools, speech to text. Go Hoosiers. And that'll help at least. You can actually record your speaker notes as it's going, which would be kind of nice. And then again, we've kind of gone over this, but shapes and images, you can manipulate them. You can also change them to match certain shapes. Let me take the border off this one. And I can insert an image. No, actually, I want to do a shape. Let's say I want it to be a, let's do this. So the shapes do have backgrounds already, so you can make it transparent if you want, and you can overlap it, and you can actually hyperlink certain images. So if you want to make a diagram on here even that is interactive, you can do that with the ability of these shapes. But then I can also morph. Oh, I'm not sure it's going to let me because it's hyperlinked, but you can insert images in here so that it will take the shape of this, which is kind of nice. So let me just try it real quick here from the web. It's interesting that there's all this Michigan stuff. Oh, it's doing it. So there are different options, which are, again, pretty nice that you're able to do within Google Slides, from images to videos to, again, just kind of creating your own shapes as you go through it. All right, so the presentation, you do have the speaker notes down below, which would be down here. You can add, although these aren't being used as much anymore, you can add the transitions. So, all of the different ways. There's not as many, but they do have the dissolve, even swipe left, all of those things if you want to add transitions to the slide. But I know that that can be used. You do have the ability to create and edit your master. So the master slide is kind of how each thing looks, and you can add like headers and footers from there and apply it to all. So that's another feature that is in PowerPoint that you can get to and edit. So again, this is all on a website, so there are some limitations there, but it is pretty nice. You can also publish it, like I've said before. So this is under File and Publish to Web. So this allows you can auto advance if you want and start the slideshow when you want, and then you just click Publish. Excuse me. And then it gives you a link essentially that you can give to people, and it'll not show up this view, but it'll show up the slideshow view, which is pretty nice. Or you can just go straight into this present mode and go into your slide view. So that's nice as well. So I'm going to do that real quick. Well, first, let me show you this. So that is the publish to web. So the other nice part about PowerPoint is being able to print. So under File, you can print settings and preview. You can have all sorts of options in terms of what you want, the 2 slides per page, kind of how you want all of these to go. So you can even put 9 per page and have kids take notes and then print it. So there are different options there for you for printing. And again, that's all under File and then the print settings and preview, which are kind of nice. Okay. So let me go back to here. Under the present, one of the nice features now is that you can have a Q&A with your students if you're presenting, and they can pull this up. You can add notes, you can add a pointer, but you can also do closed captioning. So it'll do these different text sizes and areas for that, which is also kind of nice, but it'll bring up your closed captioning, which is pretty fantastic. So there are lots and lots of good tools within Google Slides that make it more accessible. And again, it's something that they improve all the time on. So that's obviously pretty good. Okay, so class tools, you can share kind of a template to give everyone and force copy. So again, that would be like in It's Learning assignment, or just sharing with your class, grabbing the link and making it editable. So erase that last part and put copy, and then everyone has their own. You can directly add people to them as well. If you add having everyone work out of the same one, I would assign numbers all the way down so they're not jumping on each other. So that was one of the activities we were going to do today, is have you create your own. It has the revision history. So again, you can look at everything, all of the versions that you want, and you just click this back arrow and it gets you back to this. So you can see exactly who did what, again, if students are going through it, where I think most presentations used to just have to be created by a single person. And then you can add comments still. So you don't have to rewrite their whole thing. And I would say, let's highlight this and add a comment here that says change to slides. And there you go. And then you can, again, kind of have back and forth conversation here, or just resolve it. The other nice thing about Google Slides, now that I'm thinking about it and we're getting close to the end, is that you have all of the space out here in the margins that you can use. So if you want to add things here, you can add the text boxes and say, please finish this. That is a way to do that. And then you can actually just kind of drag it in. Or you just have all these pictures that you're just kind of unsure of using or not. You can just be like, I'm really not sure if I want to use that one. I'm just going to stick it out here in the margins, and it doesn't go away. It just doesn't show up on your presentation. which is kind of nice. Let me get rid of that. So you have all this space that you can use outside while you're creating your slide. And that's some on the Control-Alt-Delete. There's been different samples of like poetry where they have the words on the outside and make a design here that they can drag and drop and kind of create kind of poetry out of words that are dropped on the side here. Or like if you have a cell and you need to label it, you can have a picture of the cell, the words out here, and then they have to drag it in. So there's lots of creative ways to use this beyond just a PowerPoint presentation, which is nice. So anyways, thank you guys for joining, and hopefully you learned a lot. Take care.